My uncle liked them young and vulnerable, so I made him old and powerless. I was 11 when I first walked in on my Uncle Josh wrestling a 16-year-old. He was arrested, but released just 2 weeks later after bribing the sheriff. The entire thing didn't even stay on his record. I knew then that he was the kind of monster who shouldn't be allowed in society. By the time I hit 15, Uncle Josh had perfected his act. He'd linger at my sister's sleepovers, offering to make pancakes at midnight, wearing that thin robe that accidentally fell open. He started volunteering to drive her friends home, taking the long way, and asking about their boyfriends with that creepy chuckle. He'd always say, "You girls are so mature nowadays," and then ask for their numbers just in case they needed help. He kept escalating when no one questioned his actions. I caught him at the community pool pretending to read his Kindle while recording teenage girls in bikinis. That night he was moaning while looking at those pictures, and I was so disgusted that I confronted him and told him to stop. He threatened me with his fist and said, "You're just jealous because you're not as pretty as those girls. Besides, did you forget what happened last time?" Then he pushed me out of his room, locked the door, and went right back to moaning. The very next day, I saw his phone lit up with a text from my best friend's little sister Cindy, who was 14. I opened it and my hands shook as I read their conversation. It was very explicit, with them exchanging "I love yous," and Josh was telling her that she's very mature for her age. They even planned to meet up in a few months' time and called it their secret. I tried taking a picture, but my uncle walked in right at that moment. "What the hell are you doing?" He ripped his phone away immediately and his hand cracked across my face with enough force to split my lip. "Keep your hands to yourself, you nosy little beach." Then he left. I touched my bleeding lip and Cindy's innocent face flashed in my mind. 14 years old, my best friend's baby sister. That was it. I was done being scared. If the system wouldn't stop him, I would. I snuck into his office and checked his computer. Once I got past the age of consent laws search history, I started studying his patterns. He always targeted insecure girls, especially the ones from broken homes. So I decided to bait him using exactly what he liked. I created Ashley, who was 16, lonely, and looked mature for her age. She was tired of guys her age and wanted a real man to teach her new things. Uncle took the bait immediately. I used AI to send a couple pictures and he was hooked. He started sharing fantasies like wanting to rip Ashley's clothes off in the middle of the street. I almost wanted to yell, "I'm 16, you creepy monster." The final step in my plan came when he offered to fly Ashley to his upcoming Dallas trip. "We will have so much fun together." I screen recorded it all and contacted the police. I begged them to accept my help in sending my uncle to jail because he had literally mocked me about my incompetence. They agreed and we set up a special trap for him. The execution was simple enough. Uncle Josh drove 3 hours to a sketchy motel, reeking of Axe body spray like a desperate teenager. I watched from across the parking lot as he checked his hair in the mirror 3 times before getting out. But when he went up to the room, instead of Ashley, he found a Chris Hansen-style setup and 3 police officers ready to arrest him. His face lit up with panic, and he started rambling. "Officers, there's been a misunderstanding," but he was too late. They jumped on top of him before he could run and handcuffed his hands. Then they opened his phone, and the evidence was right there. Turns out Ashley was just one of 14 other girls he was talking to. I watched the entire thing on a camera and became repulsed at the thought of just how many girls he had ruined. He was dragged off like a sack of grains. At trial, he actually argued that these teens were seeking attention and baiting him into acting out. When that argument didn't work, he tried doing a plea deal and requested just 5 years for his sentence. That's when I took the stand. I recalled everything from that first incident when I was 11, and his face went dark. I told everyone how he had mocked me when I confronted him. His expression kept darkening as I talked about the pool incident, and then the messages to a 14-year-old on his phone. He called me a liar yet again and claimed I had a vivid imagination, but this time he didn't get away with it. He was sentenced to 35 years in prison and was permanently put on a registry. He sends me letters sometimes, but not to apologize or to ask for forgiveness. Instead, he curses me out before threatening about what he would do to me when he got out. I just send those letters to his parole board, and he gets a year added to his sentence every single time. The girls he hurt are healing while getting therapy, and though I sleep just fine now, I'm always going to make sure that Uncle Josh never gets back on the street.